Working hard, bunch of no-names. We're just going to bring our lunch pail, play real hard, and we'll see how the outcome comes.
Is there motivation that's really needed, or is it just, hey, you know how we finished last year and they kick it into high gear? How do you?
We got a Janet Jackson attitude in the nation. Is what have you done lately? And so we'll see how it goes.
Speaking of music, listen to this rare combination of skills for a high school player. Football and violin typically don't go hand in hand. Why does it work for you?
The coaches here are very forgiving in my schedule. I play an instrument which I've been raised with. My father's a musician, a professional cellist in the Bay Area, so I was raised playing the violin. And then my love has always been football. So Coach Fred, I come here and practice, and on Mondays I go and do orchestra.
All right, welcome back to Friday Football Fever. I am now joined in studio by Herald-Tribune sports writer Doug Ferneandes. Well, Doug, let's get right to it. Some very interesting games that unfolded here on week 4 of the regular season. Let's start with the game that you covered tonight, Manatee at Lakewood Ranch. Manatee, obviously one of the powerhouses offensively in this area. Give me your assessment of this one.
Well, I mean, the game took a long time. There was almost 60 passes combined. Wow. Really, running took a back seat. Breon Carnes had a touchdown pass and a touchdown run, but a lot of mistakes, over 112 yards and penalties combined for both teams. And this is the first time I saw Manatee play this year. I've yet to see the other powerhouses, but Joe Canan was very upset after the game because their defense had trouble containing Lindsey, the Lakewood Ranch quarterback. And when you talk to Joe Canan, he's such a perfectionist that even though his team put up 35 points and had 140 yards passing from Carnes, had the 2 touchdown passes, they have a lot of work to do. Like I said, they had trouble containing Lakewood Ranch's running game, and I expect Manatee to get better as the season goes on. For Lakewood Ranch, they had a couple of fumbles. They fumbled into the end zone. Lindsey threw 3 touchdown passes. So if they don't shoot themselves in the foot, maybe they hang a little closer to Manatee.
You've been around football for quite some time, Fern. You look at some of these teams. Here you have Manatee that's still undefeated, 4-0. Charlotte's still undefeated at 4-0. Here you have Venice now at 3-1 after the game on national TV. Trey Burton, let's start with him, a guy that just finds his way in the end zone week in, week out, scored a pair of touchdowns, and here he is. 4 weeks into the season, people have seen him on film. You know who's going to get the ball. Can you stop a guy like that?
I don't think you can stop a guy like that, but when you put all your eggs in one basket, to use a cliche, if something happens to him where he doesn't have the game, then Venice may be kind of stuck. With a team like Manatee, they got Ace Sanders, they got Carnes, they have Brundridge. They have a lot of weapons at the disposal when one isn't working. You know, I see a lot of football games, but Manatee and Lakewood Ranch, I've never seen 2 teams combine to throw the ball. Usually in high school football, they focus on the run. These 2 teams start off with a pass and use the run off of that, and that's why the game nearly took 3 hours tonight.
You know, I want to go down to Charlotte, and talk about the Charlotte Tarpons. This is a team, they went deep into the playoffs last year, the 3rd round, and here they are just kind of picking up where they left off. A lot of the offensive talent is back. Homecoming was tonight against Fort Myers. This is a team that Fort Myers used to dominate Charlotte back in the day, but here they are looking at this game tonight. 56-6 was the final. Are you seeing a trend? What would you say? What comes to mind when you see the Charlotte Tarpons football team?
When I see the Charlotte Tarpons play, or at least see them on highlights, it looks like a team that's very, very disciplined, a la Manatee. And really, at the high school level, that's kind of what separates the great teams from the good teams from the mediocre teams. You have teams that have great athleticism, but, man, coaching can make an average team even better. And when you look at Manatee, I'm walking the sidelines, you see a bunch of players that know their assignments. Very rarely do you see the coaches really get in their faces saying, what are you doing out there? So to me, good talent and great coaching, that's why you have the undefeated teams like you do around the area.
Again, you have Venice, good start. Manatee, and you also have Braden River, all good starts. It's too early to say they're going to go the distance.
Oh, I think it is. I think injuries always play a part, even in high school level football. I need to see these teams a little bit more. I do want to see Charlotte play, and I definitely want to see Venice.
All right, there you have it right there. He is Doug Ferneandes. I am Antawan Smith. That'll do it for this edition of Friday Football Fever. When we come back, we'll have more news and weather right after the break, so stay with us.